All right, I think I got a little better at this. Like, I got way better at this. This time I made sure ultra low latency was on. So, like, if you guys, like, I could respond to the chat in real time, which was a really big deal for me. I screwed that up yesterday and I was so bummed out, but, like, we still had a really solid stream. So let me know how quality is, guys. How do we sound? Drop a one if the quality sounds fantastic. And drop a two if there's something that could be worked on. Ooh, man, it has been a day. Like, it has legit been such a brutal day. Like, not brutal, but like an exciting day. I'm saying brutal because when I say we don't sleep very much, like, bro, I really like don't sleep that much. Like, 4 hours of sleep last night, woke up early in the morning, got the gym in, and I love it. Like, I absolutely love it. I live for this type of stuff, man. Drop a like. Let's get to 100 likes, man, and start the stream. We have a lot to cover. There's so much to talk about. So much awesomeness happened today. We finally got some clarity as to what the future of Aaron Rodgers was going to be. And it's actually what we all were expecting. It's fixed now? All right, dope. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all of the people that are in the chat to start. Shout out to all the wonderful human beings that are here, man. I see you. What's good? Panthers fan, Majestic YouTube, DJ Walker, Shoddy Raw, Granny, I Like Cookies, Fatboy Gaming, Jetfoil 11. What's good, everybody? What's good? CJ Corley, I Like Chicken Nuggets, Catching Dubs, Chris Brooks, Brent. I'm glad you finally caught me live. This is something that I've been really pushing to get this done. I've really been trying my best to get this done for you guys. I know something that a lot of you guys wanted, and I want to make sure that I could bring it for you guys, So I'll bring you a lowdown in the event that you guys missed my video earlier on. I understand that not everyone is going to be able to catch my video on Aaron Rodgers, so I 100% respect that. It's important to know, like, before we get to what he said on McAfee, this is what we were speculating for a while. Like, it was widely assumed that Aaron Rodgers is already headed to the New York Jets. Like, there's no way that he could stay on the Green Bay Packers given everything that's going on with Jordan Love. Bear in mind, Jordan Love, this is his final year of his rookie scale contract. And about a year from now, after this year, the Green Bay Packers have to decide whether or not they want to extend a fifth-year option to him. So it's kind of a big decision. So with that being said, it makes a lot of sense for the Green Bay Packers at this point to move on from Aaron Rodgers. So at that point, you might be wondering, okay, so what's the holdup? Well, there's a lot of conflicting reports. This is what Adam Schefter thinks is holding up the entire deal.
I will not be surprised if Aaron Rodgers tells Pat McAfee, yes, that he wants to play for the Jets. But as we've been saying all week long, there are layers to this whole situation. It's not a simple decision of Aaron Rodgers just saying, okay, I want to play for the Jets, and snap your finger, you're put out of your misery, Greenie, and it's done, okay? It's more complicated than that. If, assuming he does want to play for the Jets, which all signs continue to point to the fact that yes, he does, then the Jets have to figure out a restructured contract with him. And they have not done that, to my knowledge, just yet.
So, that's not the only issue, by the way. One, yeah, they do have to figure out a restructured contract with Aaron Rodgers. By the way, we're 5 likes away from 100 likes. Make sure you drop a like to support. I'm sure it does something. But in addition to that, there's obviously the fact that Aaron Rodgers isn't a free agent. Aaron Rodgers is a member of the Green Bay Packers. He signed a crazy contract extension last year. He's the highest paid player in the NFL right now. So, with that being said, here's another challenge.
Complicated is the fact that the Jets and the Green Bay Packers have to figure out compensation on what it would take to acquire Aaron Rodgers. And my understanding is that within the Packers organization, they felt that he was worth a package that was similar to the one that the Rams once got for Matthew Stafford.
So if you guys don't remember the Matthew Stafford trade, when you compare the two, man, oh my God, the Matthew Stafford trade was insane. If you guys don't recall, The Matthew Stafford trade was the compensation's insane. I know this was 2 years ago. I remember it just like it was yesterday. But the Matthew Stafford trade was Jared Goff, which was the former number 1 overall pick in the 2016 NFL draft, by the way, 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick to the Lions for a 32, I think, at the time, 32-year-old Matthew Stafford. Doesn't matter. It resulted in a Super Bowl for the Rams. It's kind of interesting because if you remember back then, the Rams were also pursuing Aaron Rodgers, but the Packers told him that Aaron Rodgers was not for sale. Aaron Rodgers was not on the table to begin with. So that's what makes this whole situation so fascinating. And bear in mind, I want you to pay attention to one specific thing here. Adam Schefter and Aaron Rodgers, for some reason, have had some sort of interesting beef with one another. I don't really know. I mean, it's a one-way beef. Aaron Rodgers to Adam Schefter, where, if you guys remember, Aaron Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show about a month ago or 2 months ago, I don't exactly remember, that Adam Schefter doesn't know anything about him. He's not in the inner circle. Ian Rappaport isn't in the inner circle, but I'm sure he's a little bit nicer to Ian Rappaport because he's part of like Pat McAfee's squad. Like Ian Rappaport appears on the show a little bit more than Adam Schefter does and kind of is establishing his persona on that show. So that being said, it's really important to note that Adam Schefter speculated that was holding things up is that they wanted multiple first-round picks in addition to in order to get Aaron Rodgers. Excuse me if my speech is off, guys. Lack of sleep is messing me up. Now, what's really funny about this is Aaron Rodgers showed up on the Pat McAfee show and he cleared everything up about what's actually going on. So check this out. If you guys missed it, there's a lot of contradictions here, and we made a whole video on it if you guys missed it. But for the most part, Aaron Rodgers did something similar to what he did last year, where he appeared on the Pat McAfee show and he said, "This is not a decision time for me. This is not where I'm making my decision." But unlike last year, he proceeded to tell everybody what his decision was. And this is what the decision ended up being. And it was one that we were speculating for a while. And as a matter of fact, we may all owe Trey Wingo an apology as a result of this. And yeah, Brandon, I'm going to get to that. The lose my number, bro. If I forget, make sure you remind me after this clip. So check it out, guys.
Since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Okay.
And I haven't been holding anything up at this point. It's been compensation that the Packers are trying to get for me and kind of digging their heels in. So I would just...
So, like, I love how he said it so, like, casually, by the way. He's like...
was to play for the New York Jets.
He's like, yeah, I'm not here to make my decision. But I want to play, my decision's to play for the New York Jets. So Aaron Rodgers like, because like, here's the thing, you got to understand, I'm a content creator, right? So first of all, shout out to the GOAT, Pat McAfee. As a content creator, man, he is just pushing boundaries and like just paving a beautiful road for former NFL players in media and just, you know, schmoes at a desk commentating on his content like me. Huge shout out to him. But when Aaron Rodgers comes on your show and says, God damn, there's about 400,000 people in here today. Yeah, I'm not making my decision today. Those people are going to be funneling out. And like, props to Pat. He like kept his composure, probably thought, okay, well, like, fine. Maybe we don't have 450,000. We have like 350,000 in here instead. I'll deal with it. But it was really funny to me because Aaron Rodgers said something that would get a bunch of people to leave. And then he proceeded to make his decision. I don't necessarily know if that was his plan. And I don't necessarily know if he just got lost in his words a little bit, but that's just something that I observed. Maybe I pay attention to that stuff a little bit more because I'm a content creator. I just thought it was really interesting. But he said what we were all assuming. And I think I've said this in a lot of videos recently, maybe with a little less confidence because I've incorrectly predicted where Aaron Rodgers was going to go over the past 2 seasons. I thought he was going to be a Denver Bronco last season and the year before. Looks like this year I nailed it for once. Yes, but he kind of said what we were all assuming at this point. And by the way, guys, if you want Just like yesterday, you could super chat, tell me what you want us to talk about after we cover Aaron Rodgers. I know a lot of you guys want me to cover Ezekiel, Elliott, Juju Smith-Schuster. There's Baker Mayfield. There's a lot of stuff. We're going to have full-length videos coming out on that tomorrow. And we're going to have TikToks and shorts also coming out today. So here we go. This is something that we've been assuming, by the way.
Okay.
And I haven't been holding anything up at this point. It's been compensation that the Packers are trying to get for me and kind of digging their heels in. So I would just, I think it is interesting at this point to step back and look at the whole picture. My side, love and appreciation, gratitude for everything that Green Bay has done for me. So much love and gratitude, and just heart open for the Packer fans.
We all make fun of Aaron Rodgers for being a bit of a hippie, but I love it. Honestly, you don't see this very often. And honestly, it's something that I've adopted in my own life. You don't see people taking a step back saying, I'm very thankful for what this organization did for me, all the generational wealth that they provided me. Yeah, I wish they were a little bit more upfront about how it could have ended, but I have tremendous appreciation for how it went down and how just my career with them. So bear in mind, very important to note, Aaron Rodgers said that the reason why this hasn't happened yet is because they just couldn't come to an agreement on the compensation. If you guys missed that, of course, there's new people funneling in here. 7 likes away from 250 likes, almost 1,000 people in here. Shout out to all you lovely people showing up to my second live stream in 2 days.
Compensation that the Packers are trying to get.
Okay.
And I haven't been holding anything up at this point. It's been compensation that the Packers are trying to get for me and kind of digging their heels in. So I would just, I think it is interesting at this point to step back and look at the whole picture. My side, love and appreciation, gratitude for everything that Green Bay has done for me. So much love and gratitude, and just heart open for the Packer fans.
Hell yeah.
So now you understand why this Adam Schefter take before when he went on the Pat McAfee show, why this video is so significant. Now, we're going to close this circle in a sec. We're going to put all this together because I know a lot of you guys in the chat are saying, wait, Mike, there's one Adam Schefter thing that you guys are missing. And I'm going to bring it up for you guys as well. Here we go.
To the one that the Rams once got from Matthew Stafford, which was multiple. They felt that he was worth a package that was similar to the one that the Rams once got from Matthew Stafford, which was multiple ones. Now, if you're the New York Jets, you don't want.
So Adam Schefter says that the Green Bay Packers want multiple first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers. It makes me feel like those Denver Broncos rumors from about a year ago had some merit. Because if you guys remember when we were covering the story before, there were stories about the Denver Broncos having multiple first-round picks. I mean, being willing to offer multiple first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers last year. They had a lot of cap space, too, if you remember. They hired Nathaniel Hackett for a reason, and they fired him before the regular season ended for a reason. It was 100% to get Aaron Rodgers. So I'm assuming the Packers were like, oh, hurt the dirt. We could have gotten multiple first-round picks last year. So let's try to do it again this year. They can't do it this year, though. It doesn't seem very likely for it to happen this year. The reason being because they have no leverage this year. They have absolutely no leverage this year. Everybody knows the situation they're in, and I'm surprised they're not making a bigger deal out of it. Jordan Love being selected with a first-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft wasn't an accident. If you pay attention, Jordan Love is a 2020 NFL Draft first-round pick. The Green Bay Packers traded up into the first round to draft him. There's a reason for that. It's not because they thought Jordan Love wouldn't be on the draft board by the time they got on the clock. That could have been the case, don't get me wrong. It was more because they wanted the ability to extend a fifth-year option to him. Only first-round picks have that ability, by the way. If you look at Jalen Hurts is about to reset the market at the quarterback position. It's because he wasn't drafted in the first round. He's an awesome player, don't get me wrong. But the Packers probably had this plan for quite some time. They wanted to have Jordan Love on a first rounder contract so they could extend a 5th-year option to him. Now is the time to determine whether or not he's the guy. Because if not, it'd be weird. Aaron Rodgers comes back, then you exercise Love's 5th-year option. Very ugly. We say this on the channel a lot because ESPN isn't saying this really. I don't even think the GOAT is saying this frequently. And I'm surprised that this isn't a thing. I'm surprised that more people aren't talking about this. But every single general manager in the NFL has to know about this, at least the competent ones. So as a result, the Packers don't have any leverage. And as a matter of fact, that's why this is so unique. Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, Ian Rappaport's right-hand man, said that the Packers and Jets continue to negotiate on an Aaron Rodgers trade, but have not yet agreed to trade terms. Green Bay isn't looking for multiple first-round picks like other QBs, Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford. I'm no genius or anything. This sounds like a little bit of a shot at Adam Schefter. A lot of people have been and I don't think this is the only shot that Adam Schefter is going to get today. As a matter of fact, Aaron Rodgers, and I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this particular moment. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting. All right, Mike, when are you going to get to the part where Aaron Rodgers completely buries Adam Schefter? Well, here it is. Enjoy. I think this is probably like my favorite part of the entire announcement.
You get it.
Listen, just ask Schefter what I text him when he somehow got my number and texted me. I didn't respond to Diana Rossini, I think her name is.
Yes, Diana.
You got my
Great
number as
work.
well. But I would say the same thing that I told Shefty. Lose my number.
I wanted to address the Diana Rossini bit. If you don't know what he's talking about, Diana Rossini, there was a report yesterday, and we included it in our video today. And let me see if I could do some digging for you guys here, because I think it was a pretty big storyline yesterday, especially considering the fact that part of it ended up becoming true. Here it is. This all happened yesterday. Diana Rossini said Aaron Rodgers has provided the New York Jets with a wish list of free agents he would like them to target and acquire. Per sources, it includes Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, and Odell Beckham Jr. Something that's becoming interesting is I really wonder when some of these insiders are like, damn, we don't have the inside scoop here, so we should guess what's going on behind the scenes, because some of this ended up coming true. Alan Lazard got a huge contract from the New York Jets as a result of it. As a matter of fact, by the way, wide receivers aren't even getting close to the money that they got last year, but that's besides the point. Here's what Alan Lazard got: a 4-year, $44 million deal. As a matter of fact, here's Diana Rossini with it.
Rodgers and the Jets, is his signing with them contingent upon them with this checklist, getting all these guys?
Well, I will bet you that Aaron Rodgers will add him to that list. But Calvin, I know you're enjoying life now and trying this TV thing. So it's so good to have you here on the show with us today. But here in New York, man, it is the biggest story in the NFL. What is the state of the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers? And we have received no official word that he has told the Green Bay Packers that he would like to be traded. He would like to no longer be played.
So this is yesterday. Bear in mind, this was yesterday. So she's saying yesterday that there's no word that the Green Bay Packers were told by Aaron Rodgers that he wants to be traded to the Jets. If you also remember, a couple days ago, people were going at Trey Wingo for saying that Aaron Rodgers has been traded to the Jets. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up the exact tweet, because this caused everyone to go crazy. Like, legitimately, everyone lost their mind at this one particular tweet, and it ended up being sort of true. It's just we don't know the terms of the deal. So I think this was misunderstood in a way, because a lot of people went at the compilers of this information, the Dove Kleinmans and the JP. It was mainly Dove Kleinman, not necessarily JPA. But here, I'm trying to dig up the tweet. This was like 2 days ago. The exact tweet. Here you go. Found it. People went nuts over this. People went absolutely crazy over this. Hearing that Rodgers to the Jets is done, history about to repeat itself, between New York and Green Bay, time is indeed a flat circle. What does he mean by time is indeed a flat circle? Like, what does that even mean? Like, why would he say that? I guess he was like, could it be that like he had such a high from, being the first to break the news that he decided to tweet out some empty rhetoric like time is indeed a flat circle? Is that a reference to anyone? Does anyone know? All right. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm losing myself here. Aaron Rodgers essentially took a shot at Diana Rossini for this. And it gets really interesting because that's not the only shot he took. He completely buried Adam Schefter. I don't necessarily know what everyone's beef with Adam Schefter is. Of course, like he did tweet out like some insensitive stuff with the late Dwayne Haskins when he passed away. He kind of ruined Tom Brady's retirement last year and then unretirement. I don't necessarily have a beef with him, but I guess some players just really don't like him. So anyways, Aaron Rodgers would then bury Adam Schefter by saying this. And this is wild. Like, this is insane. I still can't believe it. Like, by the way, we're 8 likes away from 400 likes. If you haven't liked the stream, and if this is your first time up in here, let me know what's up. Say hi. Say what's up. Welcome.
You get it.
Listen, just ask Schefter what I text him when he somehow got my number and texted me. I didn't respond to Diana Rossini, I think her name is.
Yes,
Like,
Diana.
you got my
Great
number
work.
as well. But like, I would say the same thing that I told Shefty. Lose my number.
Ooh.
Nice try.
Bro, here's the thing. I want you guys to pay attention to Pat's reaction because, like, there's moments where Aaron Rodgers is very, like, himself that, like, it's just too much for... it's just too much for him to take. And, like, his reaction is, like, what my reaction was. There's like 400,000 people watching this, and Aaron Rodgers is completely burying Schefter. Like, look
I'll
at Pat.
speak for myself. I'm sure there'll be people that have their sources.
Dude, look at AJ. AJ's like, I just thought this was so funny. But I also got to give credit where credit's due. Because like Adam Schefter is a bit of a mastermind himself. Here, I'll finish the clip first.
But from what I've seen, it's like I had a sheet of paper when I met with the Jets, and I said, "Sign these people." And that's not the reality. That's so ridiculous.
All right.
That's a pretty big deal, by the way. Like the whole sheet of paper to sign these people, despite him not being on the team yet. I thought that was a little odd, playing general manager for a team that you haven't been traded to officially. I guess there's some dialogue, I don't think he handed a sheet of paper over to the Jets, but I do think that when the Jets came to his Southern California home to visit him, there was a dialogue of, hey, let's say you do become a Jet. Was there anyone that you would like to play with? And I'm sure he said something like, yeah, I'd like to play with Alan Lazard. OBJ is a pretty good guy. Mercedes Lewis I love playing with. Randall Cobb has been my boy for life. So I think there's something here. I definitely think there's something here. I don't necessarily think he gave them a list, but I do think that it's a totally normal question to ask a player that's going to be your quarterback. It's like widely assumed that he's going to be your quarterback. And at the same time, Aaron Rodgers has said multiple times in the past that he's very big on teammates. Like, if you remember the whole thing 2 years ago, he went crazy over this. And this is when he came in and had a whole conversation and completely eviscerated the Green Bay Packers. Let me try to find it because it's a little old. Let's see. Yeah, I can't. I'm going to spend an hour. I'm going to spend 10 seconds looking for this. Aaron Rodgers. Maybe if I type in Jake Kumaro, because I remember he was one of them. I can't find it. It's I have to do a lot of digging into my old files to find it. But the whole thing 2 years ago, if you guys remember, was the fact that Aaron Rodgers was really upset about the fact that the Green Bay Packers just got up and decided to give up on his favorite players. Just decided to like cut Jay Kumaro, let go of Julius Peppers, get rid of Randall Cobb. And that's the whole reason why they brought back Randall Cobb, if you remember. That's a huge reason. So at the end of the day, man, I think it's only a matter of time before Aaron Rodgers officially gets traded to the Jets. It makes too much sense. I really like the move. I think it's going to be great for Zach Wilson. I think it's going to be great for the New York Jets. I mean, it'd be interesting if like he played for a year or only played for 2 years and the Jets decide, hey, Zach, we're going to give you another run. I think it could save his career, believe it or not. It sounds weird, but I think it could save his career. With that being said, any suggestions as to who we should... let me just check if there's anything else that we need to cover on this. Last thing. He said to Adam Schefter to lose his number. He actually did. Like, Adam Schefter really capitalized off of this. He got like 18,000 retweets by saying this. So props to Adam Schefter. He like took it on the chin. So with that being said, let me know in the chat or whoever super chats first, what should we cover next? We have a lot to discuss. It was like a huge reason why I'm doing this live stream to begin with was because of the fact that there was just way too much stuff to cover. Let me just do this. There's way too much stuff to cover in like one day. Like from John Morant on the NBA channel on Flight Mike, we have an update on that, to Aaron Rodgers, to Baker Mayfield, to Juju Smith-Schuster, to Ezekiel Elliott, to Darius Slay. Like so much to cover. So I'll give you whatever you guys decide. We'll go for it. Has anything happened with the Saints? OBJ. So Odell actually did tweet something recently, but it was very much like a gratitude type of tweet. You know, I'm seeing a lot of Juju to the Pats. Is that what we want? Juju to the Pats? All right, a lot of people are saying, give us a New England update. Okay, so for those of you guys that don't know, and I've been kind of neglecting Juju. So like by the way, I keep forgetting this. We have a huge giveaway. This is clearly going to happen. I'm going to be giving away $120 to multiple followers on my Twitter account that retweet and follow me on the tweet in the chat. But with that being said, can I cover the Falcons? I mean, is there anything else aside from Jesse Bates? So, damn, wow. I just got so dizzy. So dizzy. That cannot be healthy for me. Like that is not healthy, for sure not. Okay, with that being said, let's click on this little Hopkins here. So here's the thing. DeAndre Hopkins and Jerry Jeudy, very big wide receivers that are on the trade market. Originally, I thought Jerry Jeudy would be awesome for the New England Patriots. Like, I thought it would make way too much sense for the Patriots to get up and go and get Jerry Jeudy because of, obviously, his connection with Mac Jones all the way back to their days in Alabama. So, originally, I was hoping for that. It seems like they decided to go in a different direction, bringing in Juju Smith-Schuster instead. I was kind of surprised by this. I was surprised that the Chiefs didn't decide to bring back Juju, considering the fact that he pretty much got the same contract, I think, as here. Let me try to find it. Casey Carter, what do you think about the Eagles letting Slay go and keeping Bradbury? Maybe a cornerback in the draft like Ringo we select. Well, since you super chatted, man, I'll make your thing a priority here. First of all, thank you for the $5 dono. Secondly, I think it was necessary considering the fact that Darius Slay, considering the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles defense has been awesome, like incredible this past year. It's not necessarily something that was sustainable. All of them were going to look for huge paydays. That's just what you do when you overachieve the way that the Eagles did. I'm assuming what went down was the Eagles just looked at Slay's age and potentially his play last year versus James Bradbury. I know he had that one play where he did a defensive hold in the Super Bowl, but that aside, The main thing that like jumps out at me is James Bradbury's 29, Darius Slay's 32. It just made more sense to sign James Bradbury over Darius Slay. I'm assuming there's some sort of salary cap incentive as well for them to move on from Darius Slay and invest in James Bradbury. I do think it's a situation that could be addressed in the NFL draft, considering the fact that they have the 10th and 30th overall pick in the NFL draft this year. But don't make no mistake, I would be kind of concerned if I was the Philadelphia Eagles, losing Edwards, and then on top of that, losing Javon Hargrave. And then on top of that, losing Darius Slay. And then you don't know what's going to happen with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Like, there's obviously a huge reason to be concerned if you are a Philadelphia Eagles fan. But at the same time, you got to understand that there is a contingency plan in place. You guys drafted Jordan Davis last year, I believe with the 13th overall pick in the NFL draft. If I remember that by heart, let me know in the chat and give me my props. That's a crazy thing to know by heart. But 13th overall pick in the NFL draft last year. They also drafted Nakobe Dean. I know Nakobe Dean didn't really do much this past season, but you have to understand that he was considered to be a first-round pick heading into the draft, and the Eagles got him with a third-round pick. So there are contingency plans in place if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. It is unfortunate, but it's just what happens when you overachieve the way that they did. Not to insult the Eagles. When you make it to the Super Bowl and your defense gets a lot of credit for that, you're going to see things like Jonathan Gannon going to the Arizona Cardinals and Darius Slay James Bradbury looking for a bigger payday, and a bunch of members of your defensive line or your linebackers also, your front seven looking for a huge payday as well. It's nothing new. I wouldn't panic. It's not necessarily something I'd be comfortable with, but I wouldn't panic either. It seems like you guys have a good plan in place for that. Derrick Henry to the Bills? Are you guys trolling me? Let's see. Are you guys trolling me? I know for a fact you guys would. You guys are trolling me. My phone, my like watch is vibrating so much that I wasn't even able to even able to like tell. So we got another. Sorry, I'm looking at like some additional news, maybe from Jalen Carter. Young Keith Bull, with the Chargers letting Eckler seek a trade, do you think the Chargers will try to get Ezekiel Elliott or Jamal Williams? Sorry, I got a little distracted by the fact that we got like Jalen Carter news that just caught my eye. Personally, I don't think they'll go for Jamal Williams because Jamal Williams actually has some competition for his services. Him and the Detroit Lions couldn't agree to a deal. Usually when that happens, that means like there's a team willing to pay him the big bucks to come over. Ezekiel Elliott seems a little bit more likely, in my opinion. It just seems significantly more likely to go after a player like him. I don't really know who they're going to pivot to at the halfback position. Maybe Josh Kelly. Casey Carter, $2 dono, first stream. So this definitely made my day, brother. Thank you so much for coming out, man. I feel like it's important. Like I say it over and over again. Like, thank goodness we hit a brand new milestone with 20 million views over the past month, which is insane. But at my core, I think it's so important to live stream and chat and chill with you guys and just say what's up and like respond to the chat, engage with the chat. Show you guys my gratitude, do stuff like giveaways for you guys. All of that is so important to me. So I'm really happy that we can make it work. I'm still trying to figure it out for sure. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be a Twitch thing. I don't know if it's going to be a YouTube thing. I don't know if it's going to be both. I do it on Instagram sometimes. If it does become a Twitch thing, here's my Twitch. It's called TF Mikerophone. It has like 1K followers. So I don't know. I don't really see myself streaming on Twitch. I probably would keep it onto YouTube because it'd be easier for you guys. And I just like keeping it all together, less confusion and whatnot. Yeah, TB, that's yesterday's news. Lamar's not, bro. Stop trying to trip me up with fake news in the chat. You guys aren't slick, okay? Like I'm on top of all of this. You may have been able to get me with a fake, with the fake Derrick Henry stuff, but not necessarily with. You're not gonna get me again. And that was just getting me to check, by the way. Also, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, a lot of people have been asking me what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. Well, it seems like they are officially out of the Jadeveon Clowney and John Johnson business. Didn't they sign John Johnson last year? I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I don't necessarily remember. I think it was 2 years ago. So maybe John Johnson ends up going back to the Los Angeles Rams. I'm not necessarily sure what his future is going to look like. Clowney's career is like another cautionary tale, man. Like, number one pick in the 2014 NFL draft, demanded a trade from the Houston Texans, who I don't think they were willing to pay him, in all fairness. Took prove-it deal after prove-it deal after prove-it deal after prove-it deal. Bro just hasn't been able to prove himself. It's been, like, don't get me wrong, he's made good money. He could have made more money, but he's made good money. It's like him and Baker Mayfield are like the ultimate example of this, you know, like the epitome of players that just bet on themselves and it didn't work out, or players that played while they were injured and it didn't work out. So regardless, I guess that you can't really take a lesson from that unless if you're going to go into the NFL. But here's the thing, something I really want to talk about. The whole reason I started this live stream to begin with is because one of my favorite Dallas Cowboys of all time, Ezekiel Elliott, officially got released. And this is a little soul crushing for me, primarily because, I mean, I don't know, man, like Dak and Zeke came in during a time where things were looking bleak. You know, it was after a season where we played horribly. I'm going to be honest, I wanted the Cowboys to take Jalen Ramsey. I'm not a big fan of taking running backs in the first round of the NFL draft. But this is something that we knew was inevitable eventually. And today we got official word on it, man. The Cowboys have informed former NFL rushing champ Ezekiel Elliott that they are releasing him. Per Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissaro, he'll be designated as a post-June 1st release to create cap space, which, by the way, I feel like I didn't answer my Chargers fans' question really well. It was Young Keith Bull. I do think Ezekiel Elliott makes more sense, especially if Josh Kelly is going to be your running back in the future. I think they might go running back in this year's NFL draft as well. A lot of you guys tend to forget. I mean, excuse me. I'm sorry. Not a lot of you guys. It's so horrible of me to project on you guys. I'm sorry. I'm on like 4 hours of sleep. So some words may come out that I don't mean. Oh, I tend to forget that this year's NFL draft is loaded. Absolutely loaded at the running back position, starting from my man with a very Iranian first name, by the way, Bijan Robinson. And I don't know the entire list, but it's definitely more deep than most other NFL drafts. So I understand why Zeke had to go. That contract was horrible to begin with. I don't necessarily think he's sad. When you see how much money this young man has made, you know, considering the amount of money he's made, I don't think he's sad. Like, let's look at Ezekiel Elliott's career earnings. Like, a part of me is going to be sad to lose out on him. I think he's still one of the best blocking running backs in the league. It's going to look weird as hell to see him on a different team. The last time I think I was this emotional about any player leaving any team was when the Dallas Cowboys had to cut Dez Bryant. And I think Dez Bryant's situation was way, way, way more tragic than Ezekiel Elliott's situation. Do you remember when Dez Bryant wanted to have that revenge game against the Cowboys? And then there was a COVID test that came out. I don't know if he was a Raven at this time. Like the first time he was with the New Orleans Saints and he was about to play the Cowboys, I think a week later, and then he tears his Achilles. And then the second time he was on the Ravens and he was about to play the Cowboys again. And then he got like a notice about a positive COVID test or something like that. Anyways, I'm looking for his career earnings. For some reason, it's not loading. Here, this over here. Maybe history. Yeah, here we go. So, potential earnings, career earnings, $70 million, $70.5 million for Ezekiel Elliott. At the same time, you have to understand, he's living in Texas, man. There's no state income tax in Texas. Homes are cheap in Texas. And I mean, I don't, what I mean by that is, I live in Los Angeles, bro. Like, homes here are pricey, like, compared to Texas, with all due respect. The state income tax is horrible here. Like, I just wanted to put that out there. Zeke had a good career. Like, 7 years for a running back, I think it's fantastic. I mean, props to Zeke, 7 years, $70.5 million. He seems to have his head on straight still. I know he's had some like occasional bump ups like in the past, like that EDC situation where he got into it with a security guard at EDC, which I'm kind of bummed out. I was at that EDC and I didn't bump into him, but that's a different story. So I'm getting another dono coming in. I wanted to give a huge thank you to my man, One-Handed Bandit, with a $4.99 dono coming in right now, saying, yo, Mike McCarthy is changing the culture in our front office. We have not done this many moves in free agency in a very long time to get hyped. So I will say, like I said this in my Stephon Gilmore video, I loved the trade. Like, absolutely loved it. By the way, Sergeant Fighter, Mike, great channel. I watch all the time. Former pro boxer, Marine, and huge Raider fan. RN4L, Godspeed, at Microphone. I want to just say thank you so much for your service for our country, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. And I'm so sorry that you're a Raider fan. Hang in there. I feel like Raider fans and Cowboy fans have had some tough years recently. I mean, ever since I've been a fan of football, the Cowboys have been having tough years. So hang in there, man. I do like the decisions that the Cowboys have been making recently. Unfortunately, you do need to make some tough decisions in this industry. And I think Jerry Jones actually said it well himself. Like, he explained it perfectly here when he said, and let's pull this up. Here's a statement. Zeke's impact and influence is seared into the Cowboys franchise in a very special and indelible way. He has been a consummate professional and leader that set a tone in our locker room, on the practice field, and in the huddle. Zeke defined what a great teammate should be, and anyone that has ever played a team sport would be lucky to have a teammate like Zeke and be much better for it. His commitment and passion for winning is selfless, and the accountability he brings every day earned the respect of our coaches, his teammates, and our entire organization. He wore the Dallas Cowboys star with pride and purpose every single time he put it on. And we're a better franchise because of the example he set for our veterans and rookies alike. That carried over into our community as well, with Zeke's generosity and spirit about giving and caring for others. We have mutually agreed with Zeke that the best decision for everyone is that he will be able to experience free agency, and we can increase our flexibility and options as well. This is one of the toughest parts of operating a football team. Moments like this come, and extremely difficult decisions and choices are made. For the franchise, for me personally, for players too. We will always have a special place and love for Zeke and what he means to our Cowboys family, both as a person and a player. That will never change. So, honestly, very moving speech by Jerry Jones. You know how you could tell he doesn't really mess with Zeke, though? You know how you could tell? He didn't say anything about his jersey getting retired. If Jerry really messed with you, bro, if Jerry truly fucked with you, Zeke, he'd say, his jersey will be in the Raptors for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, he didn't say anything like that. So, I mean, he was very influential from 2016 to now. I'm very thankful for his contributions. I think Tony Pollard is an awesome guy, awesome running back. I think the decision to franchise tag him instead of paying him a crazy contract like Zeke is significant. I do think Zeke has plenty left in the tank, by the way, as well. Hi, Dad. So, what do you guys think? Rate my Jerry Jones 1 through 10 up in the chat. That's my first time doing that. If you guys liked it, I'm going to start doing that in the actual videos. Like, I'm only seeing 10. Like, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm excited to see how it's going to happen for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Maybe they pursue DeAndre Hopkins. You know, maybe they pursue, I don't know, a running back in the draft. I don't necessarily think it should be like their first round pick. Maybe down the line. I'm not necessarily sure. One in the chat, and I will do Jerry Jones in the videos from now on. I'm kind of bummed out because I recorded the short for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, we got an update. Diana Russini. Let's see what she has to say. All right, let's get it. By the way, we are almost at 700 likes. Make sure you like up the stream. I'm sure it does something. And if this is your first time and you haven't subscribed and turn on our notifications, we are running $300 giveaways at the end of every week. I am trying to get this nailed, by the way, because it's really hard considering the fact that there's apparently some bots scamming my fans. I'm verified on YouTube. Like, if you don't see this little check mark, it's not me. We're going to announce all the winners here every week. This is something that I've been trying to get down for a while. It's kind of hard in the sense that you guys comment. I have to get your social media. I have to get your email. I have to get some means of communicating with you. I'm going to try it on YouTube. If it doesn't work, I'm going to try it on Twitter or on Instagram. I really, really, really want to give back to you guys. Just understand I do. So with that being said, here's what Diana Russini has to say. Here, let's run this.
Rodgers wouldn't be the first guy in my life to say lose my number. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers.
Sorry, guys.
Rodgers wouldn't be the first guy in my life to say lose my number. Yeah.
Bro, that's a W opening. That's an incredible opening. Like, shout out to Diana Russini for being a champion. Like, both her and Adam Schefter really, like, crushed their response to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, rated out of 10. I give it a 10 out of 10 for, like, taking it on the chin and, like, joking about it. Like, huge shout out to Diana. She's awesome, by the way. Her, Adam Schefter, the insiders. Like, dude, I am just a guy in, like, my house that compiles this information for you guys and put it into a video, and I'm on 4 hours of sleep. I can only imagine what it's like to actually be an insider. Like, look at homegirl over here, man. She looks tired. Her hair is all, like, you know, like, there's kind of, like, strands of hair everywhere. Like, a lot of empathy, a lot of love to all the people that do this stuff, man. Yo, I want to give a huge shout out before we play the video. I know some of you guys might be irritated. It means a lot to me for my man, Joe Eschnauer, the first guy to subscribe. I mean, is it a subscribe? No, the first guy to push the join button and become a Mike Mafia soldier. Thank you so much, Joe. Appreciate you.
Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be the first guy in my life to say lose my number. Yeah. Let's start there.
Well, he didn't tell that to you. He told it to me. And
but he said he wished he could have done it. He wanted to. You know, look, obviously we're reporting.
I love how the first 12 seconds was this. Like, this is the first 12 seconds of this clip.
Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be the first guy in my life to say lose my number. Yeah. Let's start there.
Aw, dude. Dude. This breaks my heart. The fact that Ezekiel Elliott's eating cereal whenever you join as a member. Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate it.
Well, he didn't tell that to you. He told it to me. And
but he said he wished he could have done it. He wanted to. You know, look, obviously we're reporters and our job is to reach out.
One more time, please. I'm sorry. One more time.
Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be the first guy in my life to say lose my number. Yeah. Let's start there.
Well, he didn't tell that to you. He told it to me. And
but he said he wished he could have done it. He wanted to. You know, look, obviously we're reporters and our job is to reach out to everyone involved. And you know, I stand by my reporting that Aaron Rodgers had a list of players that he shared with the New York Jets that he really wanted to see come with him. He wanted them to look into it, research it, see if it fit with what their vision is. They signed Allen Lazard, right? He's a player that the Jets had interest in, but it certainly helped that Aaron Rodgers really likes him. He's had contact with players.
I wanted to add to that, by the way. Like, I wanted to add to that. It's kind of a coincidence that they went ahead and signed Allen Lazard, and Allen Lazard was on that list. Again, I don't think it was, hey, here's a list of players I want, or, you know, that Chris Jericho meme where, It's like a famous, I think it was when he was in WCW, where, here, it's this, like, like he brings out this, like this whole situation brings out a list. I don't think it was like that. I'll say it again. I really don't think it was like that. I think it was more, if I come there, I'd love to play with Alan Lazard. I'd love to play with Odell Beckham. I'd love to play with Mercedes Lewis. But here's another thing, and I want to make this clear. Why would they need more wide receivers? I think it's a waste of money. I mean, Jets fans, Packers fans, football fans, Adam, appreciate you. Don't you think it's a waste of money? Garrett Wilson's on the roster. Elijah Moore's on the roster. Okay, Denzel Mims. Maybe you could do something with Denzel Mims. CJ Uzoma's on the roster. Is it CJ Uzoma? Is CJ Uzoma a free agent? I don't think he's a free agent. But anyways, maybe, White is harder. That makes sense. Elijah Moore could potentially get traded to the Packers. Okay, I didn't think of that. Good call. Good take. I didn't acknowledge that at all. So anyways, let's listen. Let's hear Homegirl out here.
My life to say lose my number. Yeah. Start there.
Well, he didn't tell that to you. He told it to me. And
But he said he wished he could have done it. He wanted to. Look, obviously we're reporters and our job is to reach out to everyone involved. And I stand by my reporting that Aaron Rodgers had a list of players that he shared with the New York Jets that he really wanted to see come with him. He wanted them to look into it, research it, see if it fit with what their vision is. They signed Alan Lazard, right? He's a player that the Jets had interest in, but it certainly helped that Aaron Rodgers really likes him. He's had contact with players on that list that he shared. There's a big difference between a wish list and a demand list. And that's not something that we ever reported here. We never said it was a demand list. We just said these are guys he would like to bring to New York with him. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be the first guy in my life to say lose my number. Yeah. Start there.
Well, he didn't tell that to you. He told it to me.
Oop, my bad, guys. So, that's a pretty interesting update. And shout out to homegirl Diana Rossini for all of that. So for those of you guys that were wondering what my reaction to Juju Smith-Schuster was, it was kind of savage. But my man tweeted out saying, "Excited for my next chapter in New England. I will give this organization everything I have. Thank you for believing in me." Why do I have to ruin everything? Why do I ruin everything? I can't just let bro have his moment. So I ended up tweeting this. When Bill Belichick makes you delete TikTok. There goes the fact that I can't speak normally. Again, the 4 hours of sleep catching up with me. So, anyways, it's an interesting fit, to be honest. Like, I feel like Juju is having a very interesting career, like a very unique career. I never thought of the New England Patriots as a reasonable place for him. I guess I don't even know if it's the money. I don't know, maybe it's the guarantee, maybe it's the stability. I'm not exactly sure. I really couldn't tell you. So I'm still loving this, by the way. I think my favorite part of this whole Aaron Rodgers thing here is, I don't know if you guys saw this. You guys remember this, right? Zach Wilson. Here, I got to go like this. If the Jets sign a QB, I'm going to make that dude's life hell. Catch some Z's, my man. 4 hours of sleep and you're literally dying to stay alive. Go to sleep, brother. Dude, I'll tell you, when I woke up this morning, I think I woke up at something like 7 a.m. 7 a.m., yeah. Which, by the way, this daylight savings time, horrible idea. Ruining my life. Completely ruining my life. I kind of had a decision to make. It's you could either go back to sleep until Aaron Rodgers makes his decision, or you could get your ass up and go to the gym until Aaron Rodgers makes his decision. Usually I choose going back to sleep. Today I figured let's try to go to the gym and see if I'd be happier. Maybe I could acclimate to this new sleep schedule that I'm trying to establish for myself. So yeah, sometimes you just got to push through it and just go without sleep. It's not something that I try to do, but sometimes it's just necessary, unfortunately. I'll be fine. Don't worry. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I'm trying to see, since there aren't any, and by the way, this isn't me like super chat baiting or anything like that. It's just, that's kind of like the best way that I could like see what you guys want me to cover. I'm trying to see. Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget? Baker Mayfield. Oh my God. Yes. How could I forget about Baker Mayfield? Oh my God. How could you guys let me forget about Baker Mayfield? What the hell? How many videos have we made about Baker Mayfield this past year? Now, I'm not mad at myself. I'm mad at you guys. There hasn't been a single question about Baker Mayfield. You all should be ashamed of yourself. Straight up, you all should be ashamed of yourself. Is YouTube my only job? Yeah, it's a pretty difficult one, though. Like, it's way harder than you think. If you, like, wow, because who cares about Baker? Wow, you guys with the haymakers. Who cares about Baker Mayfield? He's trash. As a Browns fan, I'm happy for Baker Mayfield. That's the worst one. How the hell could you be happy for Baker Mayfield? This man has made such a bad mistake and has fumbled millions of dollars. Like, legitimately fumbled millions of dollars. I think my man, like a good friend of mine in the community, Urinating Tree, like really crushed it with his take over here when he said, and I agreed with him wholeheartedly. He said, Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield is a cautionary tale. He fumbled away tens of millions of dollars because he played injured in 2021 and never recovered. Instead of getting a nice extension / contract from someone, he's going to be competing in training camp with Kyle Trask for pennies. Bro, one in the chat if you think Tree is preaching, because I think he is. He's right. He made a horrific mistake. Honestly, he made such a bad mistake. Who grew up wealthy? Baker didn't grow up wealthy. Are you saying I did? I didn't grow up wealthy. I grew up like middle class, but not necessarily wealthy. Maybe Baker's pride is worth more than money or y'all's opinion. Yeah, did that really work for him last year? Think about it. We talked about it so many times. Last year when the Browns traded 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson and a lot of other stuff for Deshaun Watson, and then gave Deshaun Watson the most bizarre contract in NFL history. That is literally ruining other teams, by the way. Like, Lamar Jackson can't come to a contract extension with the Ravens over this, by the way. Appreciate it, Brandon, Tampa fan. Baker has a chance to prove himself with us, and I hope it works out. Trask sucks. Baker is an upgrade no matter what. You really think Trask sucks? Like, we haven't really even seen him. He was like a second-round pick. He sat behind Tom Brady for a few years. Yo, I love your videos. Always keeping me updated. I'm an Eagles fan. Go Birds. I love that you keep me up with the NFL. Doge all day. I appreciate your support, man. And thank you for the $5 dono. Also, thank you, Brandon, Tampa fan, for the $5 dono. Here's the thing. Last year, when the Cleveland Browns traded for Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield had a choice. He could either post a beautiful soliloquy onto his Instagram page and say, boo is me, I'm moving on to my next chapter, what we built with the Cleveland Browns. Here, let me pull this up, because I remember it was really like, why? You know, it sounded like a hurt girlfriend. Like, where was it? Yeah, here. Farewell. Wow, it was actually a whole year ago. Could you believe it? Wow, this was a whole year ago. Oh my God, it was. Oh my God. Damn, I didn't know. Wow, time really flies. Yeah, I gotta repost this. I gotta repost this for sure. Like, I had no idea. Baker Mayfield said farewell to the Cleveland Browns 1 year ago. Today he signed a 1 year, $8.5 million contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to compete with Kyle Trask for the starting QB position. Bam. That's crazy. Like, that is so crazy. Like, oh my God. I would have. It's like, I didn't know this happened a year ago, so I'm a little shook. I'm not going to lie. But if you guys don't remember, this is what he said. Cleveland, the past 4 years have been nothing short of truly life-changing since I heard my name called into the draft to go to Cleveland. You know what's crazy? Like, and I mean no disrespect, I was so surprised when Baker Mayfield went number 1 in the 2018 NFL draft. Granted, I missed on every single. This is before I made YouTube videos on the NFL, but like in my head, and I will admit this to you, I missed on every single NFL draft pick, like at least in terms of quarterbacks in that draft. I knew Sam Darnold was going to stink because he threw a lot of picks at USC, and USC quarterbacks tend to be like at the very best, slightly above average. But in this particular case, Baker Mayfield, number 1 overall, is just, he didn't do anything crazy or good, like incredible. Like, I'm sorry. He didn't, as a prospect, he didn't wow me. He won a Heisman. Obviously, he did something incredible when he was at Oklahoma. And to be honest, like, again, the draft is such a crapshoot. I thought Josh Rosen was going to be a stud, and I was wrong. He was not a stud at all. I thought Josh Allen was going to be a bust. It looked like that for like year 1, but that wasn't the case at all. I thought Lamar Jackson, I mean, I didn't really have an opinion on Lamar Jackson, if I'm being honest. So that was a very weird draft, but Baker Mayfield going number 1 was so weird, if you remember. So it's just crazy to me because I've preached this on the channel before. Had Baker Mayfield decided to just chill out and just decide to back up Deshaun Watson during the first 12 games of the season in a system that he was comfortable with, in a season that he wouldn't be injured, I think he would have gotten like minimum $20 million a year. And he may have gotten like a consistent contract, or at least he'd be signing Marcus Mariota deals. But that isn't the case. He made, honestly, I don't know. I think he made a huge mistake, in my opinion. Talk about where DeAndre Hopkins is going to go. I can't speculate on that. He could go to the Chiefs. He could go to the Cowboys. He could go to the Patriots, although some people are saying like the Patriots are out on him. There are so many teams that D-Hop could go to. It's really hard to tell, if I'm being honest. So, you agree Josh Allen's overrated? I think he's like, dude, I'm a Cowboy fan. Like, we would like do anything for Josh Allen. I can't say he's overrated. Like, oh, I gotta sit. Oh, my legs are killing me. Jesus. Micah literally told Hopkins it's about time. Yeah, but they've been flirting with like every wide receiver there is on the market at this point. So I'm not really I'm not really putting a lot of stock into that. You know, like, it'd be great. I'd love it, but I'm not necessarily like holding out any hope for that. Or like, I'm not putting my heart and soul into hoping that something like that happens. So I don't know. It's just something that we're going to have to wait and see at this point. But it would be nice, but I'm not necessarily like expecting it. I think there's a chance that we could take a wide receiver in the NFL draft, and I wouldn't mind that. I don't know. I'm very happy with how we've handled free agency. I'm very happy that we retained Donovan Wilson. I love the trade for Stephon Gilmore. I think it was very good value. So the rest, we're just going to have to wait and see. Can we make a push to 1,000 likes, by the way? Make sure you drop a like if you haven't. Cowboys always draft good wide receivers somehow. Oh, we got some breaking news if you're an Eagles fan. This is pretty significant news if you're an Eagles fan. Where'd it go? 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 It was just here. Here we go. So if you're an Eagles fan, 6-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Fletcher Cox is returning to the Eagles on a 1-year, $10 million deal. Per sources, Eagles get the quote-unquote hometown discount as he turned down more lucrative offers. That's pretty crazy. I mean, at this stage of his career, you would think that Fletcher Cox would try to get the bag. Casey Carter, huge shout out for the $2 dono. Top 5 free agents left. That's a good question. What free agents are left? Let me check. Who's left? Oh, let me see. Lamar Jackson doesn't count. So Orlando Brown is number 1. I mean, obviously an offensive tackle is always going to be number 1. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is going to be number 2 for me. Damn, it's pretty hard. I don't know. Really? Jadeveon Clowney can't be number 3. Did that many players already sign? Well, yeah, Jordan Poyer did sign today. I don't agree. Here's what I'm looking at. I don't necessarily know if I agree with these rankings. If I'm being honest, I don't know if I agree with any of these. Yeah, I don't. It sounds so weird. And Dalton Schultz at number 4, Rock Ya-Sin at number 5. I guess Lamar Jackson technically is a quarterback. Technically is a free agent. There's the lack of sleep. So, by the way, thank you for the $2 dono, Casey. Slay getting released really hurt. It's part of it, man. It's something that just had to be done. Guys, I feel like a legitimate. What's up, Murph? I see you, Murph. What's up? So I see another dono coming in from Jacob Ballard for $4.99. First of all, thank you for the donation, man. It's gonna come in soon, but it hasn't come in yet. But I'll start addressing it. Jacob Allard says, love the content. Any thoughts on the Seahawks offseason move so far? So far, let me try to get like an overview. I know the biggest move you guys made was obviously Geno Smith and obviously signing Draymond Jones. Well, that's not so obvious. That was just given to me here. I'm trying to do a brief little overview just to make sure I didn't miss anything. So far, I do love the signing of Geno Smith. I feel like you guys are gunning for Anthony Richardson, and I feel like he's a developmental QB. Any quarterback that is going to be behind Geno Smith is obviously going to be set up in a good position to succeed. I like the fact that they weren't too overly aggressive, but at the same time, I'm trying to see. I definitely feel like I'm missing some Seahawks free agency acquisitions. Let me see. I know for a fact you guys let go of Rashad Penny, which is wild because I thought he was really coming into his stride last year. Jaron Reed. Who did they get in free agency? I need to find a better free agency tracker because this isn't doing it. Draymond Jones, Jaron Reed, Geno Smith, Phil Haynes. Phil Haynes is a great contract. Jason Myers. Okay, yeah, I think you guys are doing a great job so far. Jaron Reed, that's a fairly good contract for Jaron Reed as well. Draymond Jones as well. So it looks like you got a defensive tackle and defensive end that's fairly solid as well. Geno Smith is an underpaid QB that clearly showed you could play. I think you guys are having a great offseason. A fantastic offseason. Yeah, Tractor, I agree. All right, guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling a significant cognitive decline here. My energy's a little bit and I feel like I'm just not doing as good of a job at my job. So I'm going to sign off. Hopefully I could improve stream endurance to go past like an hour and 15 minutes. Love you guys for coming in. I'm going to try to do this more often. Make sure you're following me on Twitter if you guys want to enter for like those giveaways. Definitely going to start launching a lot of giveaways, especially if you subscribe and turn on our notifications here. I appreciate all of you. Nick Chubb, appreciate you coming in. Bryce, appreciate you, man. Yeah, I need to get some sleep, Kansas boy. Kofen, thank you, man. Alexander, thank you so much for the love. Mr. Josh, appreciate you. Itkaji, appreciate you. Love you as well. Play a boy. Great stream, Brandon. I will sleep. I'll get some rest. Flapjack, thank you so much. Take it easy, Ale. Take it easy, Seal Man. Broke boy. Later, Flip and Resale. Appreciate you, TD, Dion, Jacob, Daniel, Miguel, FaZe, Yo-Yo, Me, Xbox. When's the next time I'll stream? I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. If it's really hectic, I usually stream. But like, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and I'll let you guys know. All right, man. I'm going to go get some rest. Love y'all.